my love, so per usual, I'm going to start by shaving off my mustache. You don't have to do this, but I do it because I don't want any hairs showing up through my makeup. I only moisturize my face. I haven't primed, and that is why I'm going to shave first and then put primer and sunscreen after. And just dust off any excess hairs. So now I'm gonna apply some of my moisturizer right there, just to protect any scarring that we have caused. Because it is a blade on your skin, you just want to make sure that you cover that area. And now I'm gonna do my brows. If you want a fully detailed brow routine, you can go to my YouTube channel or on my Instagram. I have so many eyebrow tutorials, but I'm not gonna bore you with all the details right now. I do sew brows all the time, so that is a staple. Let me just do these off camera and then I'll be back. This looks insane, but just trust the process. My brows may not look the same, but it's good enough for me. Like, they're close enough, and if they're not, girl, mind your business. Like, I tried. It is so hard to get your brows like identical, but as long as they're not looking like distant cousins, you know, it's good enough for me. We're going to start off with sunscreen. Of course, this is very important. Protect your skin underneath that makeup. And this is my favorite. It has this like glowy effect, and it doesn't give a white cast. The next step is primer. You don't need a primer, but I use it just so that the makeup has that extra grip. I put a lot. Oh my word, my money. I also use an eyeshadow primer for that extra grip too. I tend to put more primer around my nose area because that is where my makeup tends to separate. Like your oily areas, especially if you have like oily or combination skin, this is important. And I'm gonna pour some of this loose powder from Makeup Revolution and just powder my face. Now this step is a step I learned from Miss Jackie Aina, to just powder your face, especially if you're an oily skin girly. Your makeup is gonna sweat throughout the day, so in order to prevent excessive sweating and to make sure that your makeup lasts longer, apply some loose setting powder and press that onto your base. I know it looks crazy, girl, just trust me. I'm going to use this Wet n Wild setting spray and just let that sink in. This is going to help lock in all the product you're going to be applying on top of your base already. So I use two foundations. You don't need to. This is a serum, so it has a lighter coverage, but it gives you a more natural look. This is the Maybelline Fit Me, and I mix them both together because this one gives me more coverage. However, this still maintains that natural look that I love. I'm just gonna mix them both together and just blend that together. Wow, do you see that shade match? I'm not gonna take the product up to my under eyes because that's where we're gonna apply concealer, and we don't want it to crease, so you don't need to apply too much product. Just a little bit on the forehead, not too much. You don't want to like drag your brush, that is gonna cause streaks, and you don't want your makeup to look patchy, so just blend it in carefully. So the next step is contour. I use a foundation stick. Creamy products just blend so well with your skin, hence why I prefer to use this foundation stick from Revlon. And I'm just going to go around the perimeters of my face and outline and put this contour there. Your chin, your nose. I'm trying to snatch. Now, some people might argue that what I'm doing is bronzing rather than contouring. Contour uses a very dark shade. I prefer this warm toned foundation because it complements my skin tone. So I use two concealers. This one is closer to my skin tone. This one is very light, so together they balance each other really well. You can usually just find one that works for you, but for me, I haven't found that shade yet, so I'm going to continue mixing these, and they both give me the best coverage, so I don't mind. I'm going to start off with the LA Girl Pro Concealer. and just distribute that across my under eye. As you can see, this has a little bit of orange, which is great for people who have dark circles. I'm going to use this L'Oreal concealer just for a more highlighted look. As you can see, this is a very light concealer and I love that. I love bright under eyes. You don't need to put a lot of this concealer. A little goes a long way, seriously. You're gonna see how full coverage it is. Perfect. That's all you need. I know it looks so little, but girl, once we blend this out, it's gonna give. Why you ain't telling me my lips are dry? I've been looking like I'm taking crack throughout. Now I'm gonna take my foundation brush and blend out the contour while that concealer sits and gets more pigmented. It's gonna give you a fuller coverage if you let your concealer sit for a bit, so just be patient. Blend out your contour while you're at it. I blend into my hairline because I don't want to have a line of demarcation separating my hairline from my contour. It looks so messy, so blend upwards by your cheekbone and then blend into your hairline. Okay. I find that flat foundation brushes give you a more full coverage look. It evenly distributes your makeup rather than sponges because sponges tend to absorb more. So using a brush will give you more coverage. I'm just gonna blend it upwards, not too high. Wow, do you see that coverage? Girl, this could cover up tattoos, your past, your toxic ex. This concealer covers everything. Now, I know it looks patchy and streaky, and this is where we go in with our little powder puff. I prefer this one because it has an angled corner and you can get into all the crevices of your face. Look upwards. And now I'm gonna set my under eyes. You need to do this immediately because it is so easy for your concealer to start creasing if you haven't set it with powder. I use this Makeup Revolution powder for a brighter under eye, so if that's not what you want, don't use this. You can just simply use the Fit Me pressed powder because it gives such a beautiful coverage. As you can see, I pat some of that. You just want to tap off the excess powder so that your makeup is not patchy. Look up and set that concealer. Perfect. And then we're gonna do the same for the other eye. Just make sure we get into those creases. So you're gonna take your powder, use the back of your hand, and then look up and blend. Can you see this side looks brighter than this side? And that is because I used more of this powder. So I'm just gonna balance it out for that brighter under eye. Now you don't need to do this step, but I'm just going to do a little bit of baking on my under eyes. Now baking literally means just placing some loose setting powder in order to achieve that brighter under eye look. This also helps my makeup last longer because we have applied a lot of setting powder. It's gonna stay locked in and matte. You don't need to be an eyeshadow girly, but I am because I feel it adds more dimension to your look. I'm gonna use this Busted eyeshadow. It's a brown color and I mix it with a warmer toned eyeshadows. You don't need to do this, but I feel like it really ties the soft glam look together. And I'm gonna place that at my crease firstly. Girl, the pigment. And then I'm gonna blend upwards. You see where I'm holding my brush? Here. If you do this, your eyeshadow is gonna be so harsh. So hold your brush at the end and just fan it out. Now the next step is optional, but I love me a winged liner from time to time, so I'm gonna do that. I'm not good at wing liners, so I'm just gonna do this off camera. Okay. Now they don't look the same, they don't look identical. I really don't care. My lashes are gonna hide it anyway, so you don't need to put lashes. You can really just stop at mascara, but girl, I don't feel like my full glam look is complete without my lashes. Okay. Y'all, See, once I put on my lashes, I'm somebody else. Like, talk to me nice. So I don't have a bronzing palette. I just mix my brown eyeshadows with this Makeup Revolution powder. You see that brown eyeshadow we use for the eyes? That's what I'm using for this contour. I feel like using the same eyeshadow to bronze your face just helps your makeup look more cohesive. Everything just looks blended and all the colors seem to match well together because you use it on your eyes and now you're using it on your face. Everything just looks mwah. I'm gonna do a little bit of nose contour, a little bronze. Now I don't have a button nose, but I'm gonna make one. I don't have a blush palette, so I'm going to mix all my orange eyeshadows and try and make a beautiful blush out of them. I think I'll use this orange color. These two, they kind of make sense. And I'm gonna tap off the excess so that it is not too harsh on my skin. And I'm gonna start by placing it upwards first, and then we're gonna blend it down. Then I'm gonna go in with this big fluffy brush and just blend everything in together. This is gonna make sure that you don't apply too much product too quickly because it is kind of hard to erase an overwhelming amount of blush on your face. You don't want to look like a clown. It's just supposed to look natural, glowy. Perfect. Do you see that? Girl, this is like my second skin. Made a bit brighter, so I'm gonna mix these two. Ooh. Watch me glow to the quads. As you can see, this makeup look is about working with what you have and making the most of it. You don't need to go out and buy like an eyeshadow palette or a contour palette. If you can use them interchangeably, just do so. I never leave my house without doing my inner corner highlight. Even when I'm not wearing makeup, this for me is just a staple. I'm gonna bring back my beauty mark. People told me to use like a cotton bud. I don't have it, so I'm just gonna work with what I have. I can still see the shadows, so I'm gonna bring it back to life. Perfect. I'm going to use this LA Girl eyeliner in the shade brown. I know it looks so bad. And this is my favorite gloss at the moment. Ooh, period. Okay. And that is it for my makeup routine. I really hope you enjoyed it and you found it helpful. Without further ado, stay beautiful, stay blessed. Y'all should really be DMing me your pictures of how your makeup looks turned out because I really want to see if these techniques really work and if they're applicable to other people and not just me. So don't be scared to follow me on Instagram at guguacha and we will meet and chat there, girls. Stay beautiful, stay blessed. Mwah.